Sometimes I think the word game is stuck on almost everything that isn't serious. If you play music, if you draw pictures with a computer, that's not a game. You don't get a score, but we call it games, and sometimes it's down serious. Don't play games, don't play around if you play it. And yet there's a lot of good can come from gameplay.
What's up, everybody? There we go. You guys hear the mic and the music? How's everything going? Oh, let's see. I gotta get the chat box up here. I pop out my Max's music that they make. His links in the video description if you want to check it out. Figured I'd change it up. I got quite a few albums from him, so tonight's gonna be fun. We're working on a printer, so naturally that means I have to have a drink. So I've got my TH Streety mug here with some fresh ice, and I got some ginger ale, okay, and some Applejack here. So let's see how this noob assembles a cocktail. Or I don't know, is that the right word? I don't know. We'll see. This lid is like stuck on here. There we go. That ought to be sufficient. Hey, Josh is in the chat. He's the guy that has all this awesome stuff. I think he uses C64 a lot. He's got a whole thing. You should check out his stuff. All right. So I already hacked together, so I found we're gonna make our own, but just for right now, I hacked together a BL Touch mount I found with our Sovol mount. So I've got the sensor on here. Now, I do have some parts on Barney to actually, like, lock the cable into the back, because this printer's a little different than the others because it's got that ribbon on there. So, let's see here. All right. So my goal was to put the cable in the back here with a cable clip. So I found some cable clips. I'm going to move the beverages off this table so I don't knock them over and have a malfunction. Funny thing is, I bought this when I was sick with what I think was the human malware, and I'm pretty sure that's why I got over it. I was feeling like crap. I said, you know what? I'm gonna drink. Probably not the best decision, but it made me feel better. Ooh, that is good. Probably need to mix it a little bit. I'm just use my finger because I'm a heathen. That's good. Ginger ale with Applejack Daniels. Whew. That is delicious. I'm probably going to be drunk on this stream because that goes down like juice. I don't know if you guys have had the Applejack Daniels, but it's really good. Alright, so I've got this one type here that I found that clips in, or should clip in. So, it's not wanting to clip in. Let's see here. Ooh. Yeah, the tolerances on this part are not very good. Barney printed all these clips, by the way, at a 0.3. So Barney's back in operation. Are these like a slide-on type deal? Let's see here. Yeah, they like this like slides on. Drinking from time to time is the only thing that got me through. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I said screw it. Like, I was out in my office here. I was playing some random games. And I just said, screw it, I'm going to drink. Okay, now this, look at this. So my goal is to find some clips that I can link you guys who are going to do this upgrade. Stuff that doesn't require additional hardware. So, like, that locks in nice. So this is going to be a lot of figuring this out. I literally had to blow this machine off with my air compressor because it was covered in dust. So, but these little clips, I think this is the smallest of them. I don't need the bigger ones. This one was like one where you could put a zip tie through it. If you see here, so it's printed like this. And you put a zip tie through it. And you put the wire like that. Now we do include zip ties with the sensor. So, but you can't really slide this one like, I try to push in. I don't want to get it stuck in there either. Yeah. These almost need to be a little, there's not enough give to these. Because these are like pretty much solid. So, what my theory would be to attach the cable back here. And I want to see how the travel looks on this. So, let's say you have this, because it's got these ribbon cables on here, okay? So the question is, how do we route this? Well, if we come around the back here, and should be able to actually just go right down into the chassis here. So this might not be that bad of an idea, and then even just have another cable clip like lower on here to keep it in place. Obviously I got these bigger ones, but let's see. Because I want to make sure the cable's going to have enough strain relief all the way to the top. So that's not terrible. I'd almost want to have something like right here. I just had this like that, but then that might create a pinch point. Yeah, it might get in the way of the wheels versus just letting it kind of hang out here. I'll have to figure out a way to secure this because you can see they have like, there's no, like this is the cable for your hot end. Obviously, I don't think I have enough clearance to route it behind there. No, I don't. I guess though, I could even put it in the channel here. And if I have like a cover that snaps in, I could route the cable. Let me check. So this is like a lot of thinking about how to route all this stuff here. And how to route it properly, not to half-ass it, so to speak. So I'm gonna get this all mounted up so when we do the firmware, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my table's not long enough. But I'm going to have... This is a little wobbly because I didn't tighten the screw up on the back. This is very much a prototype of the screen, but let me tighten it down here. So there we go. So the goal is to keep the touchscreen, if you guys wanted it, and still have a 128/64. So this is actually a mini one, and I also have a housing that'll mount to this arm here. If we take a look, so you can see how we have this. So this actually screws onto one screw underneath here, and it's decently solid. So you can have your LCD here with the rotary knob, and then feed the cables in. I don't know if we'll do it through the panel side here, or if we can fish them through here if we move this board a little. I don't think I'll have enough clearance to get in through the board here. But the goal is to look at this and see how we can retrofit all these upgrades on here. So you'll have the full functionality of the, what's it called? Full functionality of your 128/64, but also the touchscreen if you want to do your basic stuff. So we'll be able to drive both these at the same time. So that's the goal. So we're not getting rid of this, we're adding on in this case, since this has a board that can actually support both. So But yeah, I just want to see here what we have for options in actually routing the cable. Because because this will absolutely fit in here, but then we got to have some sort of clips to keep it in here. You follow me? So just have like a clip that would sit in here, and then this could like follow the ribbon cable almost, but you know, over on this side. So have the clips just like this. You know, and obviously if it was secured there, we'll see. We'll figure out how to route this, because this doesn't have the whole mess of wires. It's a little more difficult to actually figure out where to route this, and that's kind of what I'm. Well, not kind of. That's what I'm doing here, is just seeing how we can retrofit this. So we already got the screen on, which is like 99% of the battle. So now it's just a matter of figuring out where we can route all the wires. In terms of plugging everything in, the end stop on this should be. It's over here. So it looks like we'll probably need an additional cable, which I think I have one of those, the Ender 5 Plus ones would work. Or the CR10S Pro ones, I should say. So, which I do have one of these right here. So, just figuring out what we're going to need. So this will go from the ZN stop of the control board into our EasyABL sensor. So let's get this working stock actually, and then we'll do the ABL kit, because once I get it working stock, doing the firmware for the ABL isn't going to be that big of a deal. So this mount was printed on Barney too. It took about 20 minutes at 80 millimeters a second, 0.3 layer height. So Barney's back in action for my small prints for prototyping. Got a CT scan. They said I got a stone. Oh God. That sounds terrible. Kevin, damn, you're interrupting me watching old streams with a new live stream. Well, sorry. Oh, that's good. That's some good shit. I've just given up on trying not to scuff this table up. Alright. So, I also need a refresher on the actual housing in here and what's inside. So you can see here, we've got the factory screw. So this literally mounts with one, and it kind of hugs the corner there. And this was the best way I could think of to do it. So Aaron actually designed this mount in-house along with the LCD cable. So this is all in-house designed. Maybe that's not the stock screw. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And the point will be to have a full turnkey solution that you just buy, and you'll be done. Oh, we're out of tracks on there. We're out of tracks. I saw commits on the GitHub repo. I wonder what that was about. No, I haven't done anything for the X1 on the GitHub yet. I don't think I have. I'm gonna be starting. I think I have some of my stuff done for the 8-bit firmware. I have to go back in and check. I can't remember, to be completely honest. I am gonna, however, override some of my camera settings here, because it is like blowing out the image here quite poorly. All right, I got my manual focus. Let me queue up another Zero to Z album. I like having music while I'm working. I like chatting with you guys, but I like having music. Here, I'm gonna put his latest one on. This is the Self-Isolation stockpile, and this is. I just want to point out the album art for this. I love it. It's a roll of TP. All right. Let's see. Let's change. And we're going down in frame rate. Let me see. I guess Logitech doesn't know how to, let's see, backlight comp, there we go. That looks way better. Hey Google, turn off lights 1 and 2. Alright. So let's get into the belly of the beast. The last time I had this open was when we did a live stream on it about a year ago, if not more. You guys able to enjoy the music and also hear me at the same time? Yeah, I'm gonna check all this stuff while I'm in here. So this thing's got a total of 6 screws, it looks like. 3 along this top, 3 along the bottom here. Oh, you can, let me see. Let me turn up a little bit. How's that? Just let me know if you can't hear me. I can only see by the meters. So if you're having a hard time hearing me after I adjusted it, let me know. But I have the music on in my headphones. It's quite nice. All right, cool. Yeah, I like this. I like these tracks. They're like retro-y and chill. I like them. All right. Oh yeah. So they got a. This looks like a Mager MOSFET or a SSR, but I don't know if it actually is. I can take it apart and see, because I know what a Mager looks like on the inside. This is just a run-of-the-mill crappy power supply. You know what? You know what the sad part is? We carried Meanwells for the, what's the word I'm looking for? For the TiVo machines, and we just discontinued those, and I think those would actually fit in here. Except I don't have any of them left because we discounted them all out. But I'm going to have to... I don't know. Would it be worth carrying power supplies here? For these? I don't know how often they have issues. I know the TiVos had a lot of problems. And all these Chinese ones, all the power supplies, they all look the same on the outside. They're all the same, like, enclosures and stuff. It's hard to tell if you're getting something that's decent, but my rule of thumb is if it's not a Meanwell, it's probably not that good. Thanks for your vanilla Mario instructions. It will get easy up and running for him. Dominic, do you say something? Oh, with Big Tree board? Yeah. Those are a pain. But yeah, we do have those guides there because I do realize that some people use other boards, so. Alright, so. There we go, there's our input. That one I didn't need to take out all the way. Meanwhile, it's good enough to run substation comm equipment. It can't be too terrible. Alright, let me see if I can pop this open. It, like, aside from the... it's not gonna auto... Oh, there it is. Aside from this, like, this looks like a Meanwell knockoff. Now, I don't know if Meanwell white labels for other companies. They might. But it's got the brass terminals like the Meanwell. Now, typically the Magers, I have to take all the terminals out if I'm going to crack this open. This says it's a 40. And see if it actually has a 40 in it. This might be a halfway decent MOSFET, because if this is made by Mager and they're just rebranding it, that's what we sell as the Megers, and I've been very, very happy with them. So we'll see. The Megers, typically, if you get a flathead in here, you can pop the casing open. Looks really similar, but there's definitely more components in here. Now, without destroying this, I can't tell what track is in here, because they did flood this with the potting compound, the epoxy, which is good. Let me see what this says when I translate this with my phone. Okay, so it says Zinsei Electric Technology Co. Limited. Let me get my actual... I have a Megger here. Somewhere. Oh, also... I have, I'm going to be putting a heated bed on my i3 Mini. I have the pads for it. And also, I got the i3 Mini V2, which comes with a heated bed. It's actually sitting over there. It just came in today. I must have put it back in the shop because I don't have the Megger in here. So, not sure why. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So let's put this back together. It looks very similar. I mean, the housing's very similar. It's got the brass contacts. So, this might be a halfway decent SSR. Which would be good, because that's one less thing for people to have to worry about. Put our control leads back in here. And also, like, if this is made by the same OEM as Megger and it's the same quality, then this should work fine with the EasyABL type sensors as well, because it should have low leakage current, hopefully. The problem is, like, the ones TiVo used, they leaked current even when they were off, and having a 60 hertz signal going through your bed can throw sensors off, especially the older ones. The newer ones don't really seem to care. But especially on the older ones, there was a lot of issues where if you had a leaky SSR in terms of current, it would manifest itself in really weird probe readings because it would be throwing the damn thing off all the time. All right. Now, one thing we can do is actually check its off current and how much it is leaking. let's see. Take a simple multimeter, put in AC mode, and see if we got any current flowing out the other end here. So, and this is AC voltage, so don't screw around with this unless you know what you're doing. Alright, so I'm just going to get my reading here. Here's my wall power. Should have my wall power. Are these probe blades bad? Why is this reading nothing? What the hell? Oh, you know what? My battery's low. Huh. That'd do it. Well, they double triple A's. What is this shit? Well, these should all be fully charged. Should be as a keyword. If not, I got some disposables. Yep. Alright. No more low bat. Oh, I'm an idiot. I had it on amp mode. I'm retarded. God damn it. That would do it. And apparently these batteries were not fully charged. Okay, I'm right about 121.7. Alright, so I'm going to put this on. This should be the lowest. Nope, that's the highest. There we go. Alright, so if I do this, it should show overload. Yep. Alright. So ideally, we shouldn't see anything off here. We're getting 32 millivolts with the SSR off. I don't know if you guys can see this. So that's with the SSR off. So it is leaking a little bit of current, 32. Now it's at 26. It's like floating around. So that's with the solid state relay off. We're showing 32 millivolts. So putting my finger over here because this is the DC side to snap that down, just in case anybody wanted to be like, oh, he's touching the terminals and it's on. All right. So let's check the grounding while we have this out. So there's ground. I'm going to touch to the ground terminal. And we've got good continuity through there. Now, this should be grounded, the base plate of this. SSR. It's not. Let's see, chassis. You got 0 ohms, so there's no ground. There's ground on the chassis here, the PSU. But look at on the actual printer chassis, there's, if I scratch the coating away, am I getting anything? Nope. So the PSU is grounded, but the whole chassis of the printer is not. And it's probably because they didn't scrape away. So there's 2 screws out this PSU, and there's one here, there's one further back. Now, a really easy way to fix this is to take one of the screws out that's holding it in. And if I'm correct, these screws, even though they're blackened, they should still be conductive if I'm correct. Yeah. So what we want to do is, I'm going to take the sanding wheel on my Dremel and just get rid of some of this coating so I can actually ground the chassis here. It's going to be loud. Alright, so as you guys can see, just got rid of this plastic coating they put on the metal. So when I tighten this down, this should then ground the printer frame. And you can barely even notice it. Just make sure you tighten it. Don't over tighten it because you might strip the screws. But there we go. I definitely think the Meanwhile 150 would be adequate for this. This is probably like a 200 Chinese. But the Tornado used a 200, and so did the Flash, and we've been using the 150s in there for a while with no issues. Alright, so let's double check. Chassis. Now if I touch this here, now we got ground there. No ground on the frame though, which means that I'd have to go over all these. So that means that coating's so thick on all of them. It's isolating that. So you can literally do the same thing. You only need to do it on like one screw. When I take this out, this is the one that goes into the chassis. And these are painted, so we'll see, but mainly this is what will usually hold you up. So let's see if we can get some continuity to the frame. Because here's the thing, if you got no ground, and this is AC bed, and you get a frayed wire, and you don't have ground on the chassis, it's going to find ground through your body, and you're going to get hurt. I remember talking about the poor grounding on here. Now let's see. These screws, like I said, are coated, but we'll see if I just tighten it down enough, am I able to get continuity through to the aluminum extrusion. Let's see here. So that's where I scraped it off. And we're showing about 3 ohms. So not ideal, but we're getting some. And what I can do, because I'm pretty sure, so if I just hit this real quick here, okay, so exposing some metal. I'm not grinding the threads on, I'm just lightly hitting them to get the paint off. And then also doing the same thing on the top side here. Okay. Just getting the paint off. Putting it back in. Tighten it down. And we're going to check it again. You could also even run, because it looks like there's some threaded holes tapped here, and even here. You could even just run a wire from here to here, but just hitting the screws and the chassis. There we go, we got 0 ohms. 0 ohms. 0 ohms. Motors probably aren't going to have anything. Those are like almost floating in there. But let's see if I hit this. Here's some exposed metal. 0. Fan guard 0. Get that in. 0. So we got, We even got it on our Z-Res. It's higher, which I would expect. But we've got some ground now. Alright, I am going to put these batteries on the charger though. Because they are low. I can't remember if I charged these or not. Or if I just threw them in the drawer when I got them. Recognize my batteries. There we go. All right. The EZ300 actually had grounding on it. All right. So we know the LCD is going to go over here, but I got to get the. Well, sorry, you guys can't see it. The LCD is going to go over here, but my motherboard's here. So the question is, in terms of ingress, to get cables in. Now, let me ask you guys this. So this is the whole module for the LCD, the touchscreen. And are they using... here's the thing we're going to have to take into consideration. They have the filament sensor going onto the header here on this touchscreen board. Which means I gotta see if it's actually sending an M600 when it runs out. But the funny part is, they could have this going into one of the end stop ports here, like for the X end stop, X Plus, instead of going to the touchscreen. So I'm now like seeing how this is. Do you guys think we should just ditch the touchscreen on this, where you just, you know, disconnect this, you move this down to the board, and then we have either the touchscreen just sitting here dead, or see if we can mount it like this? I don't know. It would have to sit up a little bit, which I don't think that's going to work. Go lay down. Because if it sits up, yeah, it's barely going to clear the bed. So there's just a little ribbon cable that slips through here. Now the good thing is, might be able to show you guys what I'm looking at here. So this is the control board for the thing. This is sketch. Look at this. I didn't notice this when I did this. This is all ground off here. Why? They have this all. Let's see. Now that we have ground in the chassis, is it going to screw other stuff up? No. So, this one's going to be fun. Now, I got to see if I have long enough cables, because if I'm mounting this LCD up on the top corner here, okay, I got to figure out how to get these cables in. Now, the easiest thing would be to just run them flat here into the side, so when you put the housing on, it just sits flat on there, and there's no screws right here, so it's not going to create a like a pinch. So, like, just looking at this, trying to figure out where we want to retrofit everything. That's where this is labeled HB. I would assume that's for heated bed. Yeah, it looks like they're driving. They got that one LED. They're driving it off of a spare data pin down here. Coming off here, you see this one pin here. This is more than likely for the NeoPixel. Like, they have one little NeoPixel on the hot end, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they do. There's one of them. And they're running, it looks like they're running the Z motors off of E1 and Z. So they're doing dual Z with dual drivers, which is nice. It's not a bad thing. I don't think this has dual Z sensors. No, it doesn't. It's just got the one over here. So I've got a NeoPixel and IO pin. I've got 2 Z steppers, so I need to do the parallel Z drive in Marlin. The filament sensors coming off the LCD here. And yeah, here's our serial and power, so our TX and RX pins. So this goes over to the MKS's aux1 port. So our EXP1 and EXP2, which are down here, that these other LCDs interface, these are open, which is what I was expecting. Because that means we can drive both of these at the same time as long as the firmware is, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe I shouldn't have drinking. I need to just make sure I account for that. But the thing is, I needed to see if this sends an M600 when this runs out, because I'm trying to do as minimal modifications to this as possible. Like, the goal is to just add on to this, not completely replace everything, if that makes sense. And this has got a knockoff MKS in it. It's not even branded anything, it just says V1.0. It's an MKS Gen L, but it's a knockoff. So, I need to find the longer cables. Let me see if I have some in the drawer here. There we go. I don't know if these are the 60 centimeter ones we sell. We carry them. So I got EXP1 and EXP2. Question is, are these going to be long enough to go? Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just so I remember which is which, is I'm going to write a 1 on either end and a 2 on the other end, so once I put this down, I know which one I'm dealing with. So I'm going to write a 1 on the cable here. I'm going to put a 1 on the cable inside, so I have them marked at both ends. Put 2 on the other. Alright. Make sure I got these going both the same way. I'm not sure if I'll have to flip them, but I can flip them at the LCD. So then once these go up here, you can see, if you have them here, you put the side panel on. Side panel just sit on there. They can just come out the top. No big deal. You guys see what I'm saying? So, no need to drill extra holes. And once you tighten these 2 down, it's not going to put enough tension. Like, you can still, like if I'm holding this, you can still move these wires. So, it's not going to crimp them. It's not putting enough pressure on. So, now it's time to delve into the code. Now I've got all the info. So if I had this set up with the base, that'd be like this. And I can't remember which was 1 and 2 on here. Which one's 1? Yeah, this one's 1, which works out because that's the longer one. This one's 2. Now the question is, I wonder, they probably don't have this. This is a mini panel type LCD, so I highly doubt this will do anything in firmware, but we can at least see if it lights up. And I'll do the pinout for it. Let's see. So this LCD is not lighting up, so that tells me I gotta flip the cables. Oh, the joys of these Chinese displays and the cables. There we go. Now I got a backlight, so yeah, these both needed to be rotated. Alright, but I don't think I'll get anything on display. But you can see here, if I turn the light down, it is lit up. Alright. So now we got to figure out the firmware. Yeah, so my thing was minimal modification of this. Alright, so now just so everybody knows, the majority of this stream is going to be looking at code on my screen. Just so y'all know that. Let me just close out all my crap here so I don't have like pop-ups happening. Let's see here. Move this over. Alright, so what I want to see is, do I already have an 8-bit base? I thought I did, because if I log into our project management here, I just need to see how far this is. So this is the EasyBoard firmware project. If I U2, how far did I get in this? I didn't get far at all. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, I mean, these MCAS, the MCAS Gen Ls in here, these are knockoffs. This is actually the one I fried a knockoff in the video and didn't realize it was a clone. And the clones in these, like, I'm not too worried about these ones so much because they aren't driving the bed current. But the MCAS Gen L and the S Gen L have way better MOSFETs, and they appear to be using genuine ones. So I do have, I think this is on my, because I'm moving everything over to, a GitHub account labeled TH3D. So I think that's this one here. Nope, hang on. Which two-factor is it? Hang on. This should be it. Oh, they sent me a code. There we go. Alright. So let's see. Okay. I didn't creep up the volume at all. Turn down the ambience. I think it was just a song. Alright. Let's see. I think it's just testing. Yep, this is the one I want to use. Alright, let me open this in GitHub Desktop. I already have this installed. Why is it not opening in Desktop? Do I not have the newest version? What the hell? Let's see. Okay. Did it like not register? Oh, it's not registering. What the hell? Alright, let's see. Testing. No, I don't want to create a pull request. Let me fetch it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new branch. We're going to call this, I'm going to use a testing one. We're going to call this let's publish that branch. I need to check chat. Did the gaffer tape come out? Yeah, I haven't done anything to this printer. Aside from the grounding fixes. Alright. So let's dive right in. This should be a pretty own stock version of Marlin with like... Okay, so I think I already redid the config. So what I want to do actually is copy the baseline config from our older one and kind of mold this, because this is, I have to use 2.0 on here because I need 2 serial ports. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get this running and then I'll do all the fancy config later. Let's see here. I thought I had I've pulled down a firmware from someone else and I wanted to see their source code here, what they're using. Here it is. Alright, let me switch back over here. Yeah, we're on Sidewinder X1 branch. Do I have the boot screen? Yeah, I do. Okay. Alright, so there's in serial port 0. Now the question is... I gotta look up the 18 mega... I think it's 1? Because it has 2 serial ports on it. Okay, TX1, RX1, is there a 0? Yeah, so there's 0 and 1. So I got 2 serial ports. Actually, there's 3 on them. On here. Unless they're all connected to the same. Oh, I ended up on my own site. That's funny. Well, that's ramps, and it follows ramps. Alright, we'll just see what works and what doesn't work. Alright, so we know it's MKS now. This should be the same one. We want that 1.75. You know what? Before I do all this crap, I should update. Wait. Oh, I gotta hang on. I need to pull down the latest Marlin. Because if I'm going to go through all this trouble, I might as well make sure I am on the latest one. Hang on, why is Samantha calling me? Yes? I can let the dog in, but I'm in the middle of the stream. So. Alright, bye. Hang on. My wife wants the dog. All right. Let's download the latest. Looks like they're on 205.3, which I pulled down the other day. But I'm going to pull down the latest just to be sure. I'm going to go ahead and merge in all my changes here. Don't need that folder. And let's see here. Do a compare then. Alright, I can actually just overwrite this whole file. We're compiling for 2560. Don't need the config folder, don't need the docs folder. This should all be the same. Alright. Alright. Alright, let's see. So I want to keep those. Those are my custom settings here. That's new. They've got some new settings here, so I want to retain these. They're for our easy board. And I want to retain that. That's still all the same, so I can copy that over. BL touch delay. When it's 750, it seems to work better. That's new. Copy that over. Alright. That's new. So DGUS settings. BB step, that's still the same. Max interval, it's the same. Alright, advance pause. Speed rate, that's still the same value. Mod mode length is the same. Those are the same values. Park it on pause, that's the same. Oh, nope, I wanted to have that enabled. Alright. Yes, no volumetrics. So basically I need to go through all these files and make sure everything is all in sync. I know I haven't modified anything in this file. I don't think I modified anything in this one either. No. So this one I can copy left to right. Now, the only thing I know I changed stuff in was the LCD, and I think that's in the dog in. This I wouldn't, sanity check I would have. HAL I did not change anything. So you can see here on the right, because I have an older version, these aren't even present in the older version. So we're going to get rid of those, and I'm going to just copy this whole folder left to right, so I make sure we're on the latest one. Get rid of any old files that are no longer needed. No G-code, I didn't mess with anything in there. Delete right. Or copy left to right. Don't think I messed anything in the features setting either. Nope. I don't think I messed with anything in any of these. Language, I definitely changed some stuff in. And probably boards too. So copy left to right. I know those I haven't modified. How much should I print for Ender 3's new Tough Hunt? It also has Easy ABL. There's a Pets Fang, there's a Heavy Duty, there's a bunch of them. Did they like move all these? Looks like they moved them. If you look on the product page, there's a bunch of links to mounts that fit that hot end. So like we rename, I think, low defaults or something like that. We renamed that to reset EEPROM because it just makes more sense. A couple more boards supporting this new version of Marlin. I don't think I did anything here. I'm just double checking here. Yeah, no, I did not. Let's see. Are we already through that playlist? I think we are. Oh, there it is. I was like, where the hell did this go? Music, FLAC, I don't know, MP3, old school. Let's see. Let's go album number 17. I cue that up. Boom. Alright. Where the hell did chat go? There we go. Alright, get all these windows out of the way. Ah! Come on. Okay, where were we? Merging code. Don't need to worry about any of these. Conditionals.lcd. Alright, conditionals.post. Alright. Bunch of Trinamic settings. They're definitely moving stuff around to make it be in more files. Probably for better organization. Alright. I don't think I modified anything in Marlin config.h, but I wanted to double check. Sanity check. Alright. I must not have put my special ones in here yet. Like I said, I was like going hard at this early in March and was on a roll, and then all this shit happened. Yeah, it could be. Those ones are really sensitive to any sort of grounding issues. So if you got grounding issues on your machine, it's not going to be a good time. Fucking status screen. Yeah, I don't think I changed anything in here. See, like, this is the thing. I go through all these files to make sure that all my custom stuff is still in here while we're still updating to the latest Marlin. And I think it's the first time I've done this on stream, but you can see it takes a lot of time. It also gives me an idea of what they're changing and working on too. So if I see stuff that's changed, it's relevant to whatever I'm messing with or what I use, then I'm aware of that and I can make changes to the code if I need to. Yeah, you probably have a bad ground. Most of the ABL issues, like in general, are due to electronic issues, like EMI. EMI is a bitch. Alright, so... yeah, I don't think I got super far in customizing all this because there's not a ton of files modified in here. Like this one can just get copied straight over. So can this Degas one. I don't think I would have done anything with the Malian LCD. You can see like they removed stuff from certain files and then added it back in other files. Yeah, I would just start with your power supply, because if your power supply has a bad ground, that could be all that's the issue. That makes sense. So the goal is to drill down through all these, and I don't do anything other than English because that's all I speak. So, but I'm pretty sure I changed some menu items. So they added some new ones here. So you can see here, I have... okay, so they have restore... okay, so it'd be easy just to overwrite initialize with reset. Because people are like, initialize? What does that mean? Makes more sense. I know I definitely didn't do anything in the game folder. Alright, we're almost to the point where I can start messing with stuff. I know like none of these I would have modified. I don't think I did anything with end stops. I might have. Nope. Alright. Okay. Wait, what the hell? The fuck? Source LCD menu configuration. That's CPP. The fuck? Why is this screwing up like that? The fuck? Okay, well, it's in there. I don't know why it's not. Whatever. Let me reload WinMerge. That's weird. I've never had that happen. It's like all of these. I'm just gonna delete that on the right because I know I didn't modify anything in there. What I'm concerned about is the pins files for the easy board. Mother. Forgot to select just the forgot to select just the right side. Except it just deleted both of them. Hang on, Marlin. Source. Wait. Oh wait. There's just a couple of files and they're deleted. Alright, let's do that again. Okay. Copy. Okay, all of them except for 1769 because I have custom settings in here for the easy board that they do not have in Marlin. Oh, he changed all my pins. God damn it. What is going on? What the hell? Something changed. I must have hit a key combo. That's showing, or it's hiding the, there we go. Okay, I was like, what the hell? Let me make the lines all pretty, like Scott wants it. 49, 49. Why are they doing EEPROM emulation? That's new. Because LPC has EEPROM. We didn't have to do emulation on it. Whatever. We'll see. So much shit to keep up with. I should put a pull request in to change all this stuff here. Did he retain this? If temp sensor is 0, yeah, he did. This was his little script that like aligned. These are all showing different because he had a script that went through and like aligned all these so it looks nicer. Just making sure all the pin numbers are the same. 1, 3, 2, 6, 3, 5, 1, 30, 16, 18, 15, 2, 11. Okay. And all these I can copy left to right. I'm not sure, Michael. I haven't put the easy board in that. There was a guy in our Facebook group that did the swap. I don't know if like the motor directions and stuff are going to go the same. I'm not sure. So I can't really give you an answer on that. I have not done it myself. I'm still running the MKS Gen L in mine here with TMCs. Hook it all up and see if it works. You will need the dual LCD adapter board if you didn't get that already to run the 12864. And the only thing is, if you're using Octoprint, it really doesn't matter. But you won't be able to get to the SD card unless you put like an extension or you cut a hole. Depending on how you mounted it. There was a guy that did a full conversion in our Facebook group where he put the EZBoard in his AL4. I wish I could remember the name. I just want to check the menus because, like I said, in our previous version, I edited a lot of the menus, and I want to make sure that I don't overwrite anything. I mean, you could reverse it at the motors by just rotating the plugs one, or not at the motors, but at the board. If you rotate it 180 degrees, I believe that should flip the direction. Or you can do it in firmware, but it's a lot more complicated. Or you can just run Marlin. The EZBoard's in Marlin. Like if you download Marlin 2, it's in Marlin. I would probably just do that. Because that's what I was going to do if I put the EZBoard in Barney. I would have just used regular Marlin instead of our branch, just because when you're deviating that far from like all the pre-set up configs, you might as well. Now I know I did not change any of these. Can't remember if I changed anything in motion. Nope. Let's see here. Definitely didn't do anything in that. Didn't do any of that. Okay. So I didn't deviate too far from the Marlin baseline. You'd have to change the mother or the board. I don't believe that one supports it. Yeah, deltas on older versions of Marlin were rough. I mean, they worked, but yeah. So this is a nice setting here that they have in the latest Marlin. EEPROM auto init. So if you don't follow the directions and forget to reset your EEPROM, it will automatically do that for you. Alright, so let's see. Where are we at? Cool. Let's go and push it up. There we go. I want to reload it. Okay, so this is the example that I found for this machine. We don't have PSU control. What temp sensors are you in? 1 and 1? Yep. Ugh. Maybe pouring myself a strongest drink wasn't the best idea. I'm probably going to end this stream at 12 a.m., so about 30 minutes, just for a heads up. I've been trying to get to bed at a reasonable time. Yeah, let's do PID temp bed. Here's the thing, none of these machines have chambers, so why enable it? Okay, zoom in. I think he's using a BL Touch on here, so these would all be true for the stock ones. Really, 2100s? I don't think this has some sort of knockoff. Nope. I spilled some drink. I think these are like the TB6600s or TB6560s. No, those are big ones. Which one was it? I can't remember which one it was. Did they actually fully support it? No, they didn't. Well, if that's what they're using, I'm going to do that. So we got 2 Z drivers and an E driver. They'll probably work with the 2100s or the 4988 timings, to be honest. Alright, like this is stupid. Like, come on. It's set by your pulley and your teeth and your stepping. 80.121. No, it's 80, and the Z is 400. People do stupid shit in their firmware. Yeah, we definitely want the max acceleration on this machine to be 2000, and I'll be a little more aggressive. A little less on these. I think that's pretty much it. I can kind of run through. I do want S-curve acceleration on. Now, I gotta remember, I think it's in configuration ADV. Now, he's not, yeah, he's using the filament sensor off the, what's the word I'm looking for? Off the LCD. No one's ECF, we want EEPROM settings on. Let's keep live is fine. I usually do 100, 60, and like 220. So the question is, okay, so I know the LCD I have hooked up. I'm just seeing what he has. It should be the mini panel. I just want to see what his settings are. Doing anything special in here? Because I don't think you can talk to it. It's just serial. Yeah, it's not. Alright, so I just uncommented those. Look for the mini panels. Where are the mini panels? They should be further down. And this particular one is, I believe it's just the mini panel. Yeah, with SD. Now, what I want to look into is the dual Z. I know there's an option in here for dual Z motors. X, Y, Z, number of stepper drivers, 2. Okay. Now this might automatically use the E1. Ultimaker, I'm not spending money on an Ultimaker. I got enough machines to do work on, hence why I'm working on this one that was like... When did this come out? Over a year ago? Alright, so I'm going to make a copy of this. The printer firmware... Go ahead and copy those files into here and load up VS Code. Yeah, we're going to compile for 8-bit with VS Code. Now let's see if we can compile if it's going to throw some errors here. We'll find out. Let's see. Let's see what errors we throw. I'm probably going to throw errors. Yep. Nozzle Park. Alright. Should light up. Is there any reason to wait to buy Ender 3.2? In my opinion, no. I think they're going to have silent drivers on there. I don't know. And I don't know how much stuff we'll be able to get on it, so, because I don't have one. We pre-ordered one. The hell? Menu configuration? Oh. That was that file that, like, got botched. Oh, I know why it got botched, too. Because remember, it was hiding the stuff that was the same. Nope. Marlin source. LCD menu configuration. That's CPP. Let me copy and paste that in there. I mean, if you plan on upgrading and adding stuff on, the Ender 3's already got a ton of support. Look, this is normal. I just keep compiling and work through all the errors. I saw something that was complaining about the thermal protection. Oh, because you know what? I didn't put in here. Crap. Because those are config values from my firmware, which are not in that firmware. Let me see here. What were those? On and thermal protection time, bed thermal protection time. And this is a really rough firmware right now, so I'm gonna do 60 and 120. Do I have Xload around here? I do. Alright, so Mega 2560. Build Mega 2560. It should show up in here in a sec. Should spit out a bin file for me to flash now. There we go. There's an ELF file. Bin should show up. Oh, hex, too, because it's a AVR. I mean, it's there's not any major differences with it, if that's what you're wondering. All right. It's probably on 21. Nope. 22? 22, I think. Maybe? I should have a bootloader. Maybe it's 12. Probably on 12. It should time out in a sec. Yeah, it hung. What's this unknown device here? What the hell is this? Oh. My space mouse. Okay, this said it uploaded. Was 22 the printer? Yep, okay. So the LCD flicker. I'm not seeing anything on it. One, two is a 2. I wonder if this might be a different LCD definition. Oh, here we go, MKS Mini. That would be why she's not working. Alright, so recompile. I gotta talk to Scott about the new Ender because he has one and he's been doing firmware work on it. So like Reality's actually having him do the work on it, which is good. Alright, so let's upload new firmware. Hopefully I'll get LCD. I didn't check which direction they have the steppers going. Well, it's screaming now. Oh, it's uploading. Just gonna let it upload. Should sort itself out after the upload. Forgot how long these take to upload. That is really annoying. You guys probably hear that in your ears. My apologies. He's a screamer. I'm just gonna mute this.
The weed marijuana is grown in every state in the union. Recently, in the city of Brooklyn, New York, a field of marijuana was found behind a tenement court. The weed was here being cultivated, regularly stripped,
We're gonna try that again. 60 COM2. Try it again. Wonder if the LCD is interfering with the data upload. Like the touch screen. We'll find out. Yeah, the new PC is working out well. He laughed at the wallpaper. I don't know if he changed it or not. Worst case scenario, if because that last flash failed, I'll probably have to reflash the bootloader on the board. And probably tell people to unplug. I thought the guy had, let me see here. This guy had a big document. Let me see, does he recommend... this is for connecting to BL Touch. Yeah, here, unplug the firmware or the LCD from the mainboard. That sucks. So, you can't actually flash the firmware with it plugged in. So I guess I got lucky. Because it's probably on the same serial interface. Fucking hate touchscreens. This didn't have a touchscreen, we'd have firmware out for it by now. Let's try it. I'm surprised it actually flashed the first time. Let's see if it'll flash or if it fucked up the bootloader. I mean, here's the thing with having this external LCD. If you move the filament sensor over, you could just get rid of it. Maybe I'll have a config option. Hey, look, we got LCD now. Yay. Let's see if all our stuff is moving the right way. X's. Y is not. Y needs to be flipped. Both of them are moving. The Y and Z need to be flipped. Air fan. Preheat. Yep, they're getting up there. Okay, so there you go. So Y should be false, Z should be true. Let's check the extrusion. I think whole extrusion preventer is on, but we're about to use it. Hot and too cold. Get up there in a sec. Extruder is moving the correct way. I think I'm going to do a guide on ditching the touchscreen so you can actually update your firmware without opening it. Or, I mean, what do you guys think? Do we just say screw the touchscreen and make a thing that goes over there? Or do you guys like the dual option? Or do you not care if your touchscreen is just off and you have the other screen hanging off? Yeah, that's the general experience with the touchscreens. Is they're cool at first, and then you try to start doing more advanced stuff, and you find out you can't because they're very limited. And like honestly, I'm gonna leave it disabled because I don't want to have to open up the bottom of the damn printer to update my firmware. That's because how the MKS has it wired, so they're sharing that serial port. And actually, here's the thing. If they're sharing that serial port, I could actually get it supported in the official... Actually, all these, I just realized that. I thought I was going to have to use 2.0 on all these, because our 119 build is insanely stable and refined. Huh. Because the next three printers I'm working on are the this one, the JJ A5, and the Anycubic i3 Mega, and those all have MKS Gen Ls, which means they all have a single serial port, and I don't need 2.0, so I can actually get these supported faster because we can use 119. Now, 119 has limited serial support for dual serial ports. And the reason I came to that conclusion was I was working on adding the touchscreens to the stock, like the serial-based touchscreens to the stock Ender 3 board. And in order to do that, you have to have Marlin 2 to properly handle the dual serial ports. It's kind of supported in Marlin 119, but it's not all the way there. So that means I'm going to because it's almost midnight. At least I got my 2.0 base branch updated. But that means that I can get this supported. I think I'm just going to tell people to unplug the touchscreen. And do we just say screw it with this, for this printer at least, say screw it with this like arm here. And do we just make it so you have it here and it sits like this? Because touchscreen come out pretty easily with literally these little 4 retaining tabs here. So if you see these here, these 4 retaining tabs. Yeah, because that's gonna be a pain in the ass telling people to open this up. I don't want to deal with that. I was thinking about trying to maintain the touchscreen. But that is a pain in the ass. You have to unplug this because it's interrupting the serial port communication. So like to take this touchscreen out, all you have to do is take this tape off right here. Carefully. So you don't care about ruining the touchscreen. Question is there a connector on here? There is. Okay. So see how there's a connector on there? You just pull this up, and that releases this cable. Take a set of needle nose, and these straight again. should just come out. I'm getting hung up here. Is there a fifth one somewhere that I'm missing? No? Alright. It's just being a pain. There we go. So there we go. There's a panel removed. So I'm going to have Aaron go back to the drawing board, and I'm going to check the pinouts. So basically, people would just disconnect this. You can just leave this board in here. This would then come down and hopefully be able to plug right in. It looks like they give you enough cable here. And then this will plug into the X Plus. I just have to check the pinout on this to make sure this pinout works with the stock header. I'm going to assume it probably does. Let's see, we got positive, negative, and signal according to these header labels. Yeah, positive, negative, signal. And I think that's the order. Yeah, so this could literally plug right into the MKS's X Plus. So this would literally come down here, go into the X Plus header on here. Okay, so go right next to the yellow one. And there's your filament sensor connection, and then that's completely bypassed. So I think for these printers, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to retain the touchscreen because this, having to come in here and disconnect this every time you need to update your firmware is a huge hassle. And I know we'll just get a million tickets where people are trying to update it and being like, well, I can't update, the firmware won't upload. That will be why. Alright, well, this is what I go through. You guys just don't see this stuff because this is happening on the back end, but it's figuring out what they did with these machines and what kind of workarounds we need to do to actually get them to do cool new stuff. Just gonna commit my changes here. Wait, undo. Just gonna do a win merge here. Yeah, that's annoying. That's really annoying. But document it and get a proper solution for everybody. Because the thing is, too, if you got to update your firmware on the LCD, I think you can do it through the SD card. So it's not that big of a deal, but like, that's a pain in the ass. The goal is to get like everybody set up so they can do updates and stuff quick and not have to be cracking their printer frame open every time they have to flash their firmware. That would drive me nuts. And I would most definitely forget about that and wonder why I can't update the firmware on my printer. So, alright, well, that'll wrap it up for tonight. I feel good. I made a lot of progress. I know what I need to do here. Let's check Thingiverse. Did somebody make an LCD mount for this yet? I doubt it. At least on the other ones, we're going to need those arms because their LCDs are like recessed in the case, and unless you want to cut it open, there's no easy way to do it. Oh, there's a Sidewinder LCD display cover. Oh, hang on. Sidewinder X1 LCD display cover. Oh, that's, I mean, I guess you could cover it up. Let me see what's on Thingiverse here. There's not much on here for this printer. Yeah, it's the same thing. So, looks like we're going to have to design one in-house and make a mount for that. So, basically, Aaron's going to be just ecstatic. So, you got this left open. Now, these mini ones are nice because, let me take this off the mount here. So now he already designed this housing. This is a prototype one. I'm actually kind of happy with it. Like it could be a little more refined, but it works. But we can literally just have this sitting right here and have the cables in for the LCD. Just leave this in here. Just hold that over. Come out of here. Now, I wonder if there's a cap for this, because these will no longer be used. It'll be the SD port on the LCD. So, here. The question is, would I need to bring this forward more? If I had to make a mount that puts that, you know, the bolt pattern for this, it's going to hit the bed. Yeah. So this would have to be angled forward, like this, to clear the bed. So we have to make something that flips into these. I'm trying to think of attachment-wise. Now we do have that screw under here that we were using before, so we could use that. But it would have to be this mini screen. We're not going to be able to fit the full 128/64 on here, which is fine. This does the exact same thing, it's just smaller. So, but literally just design something that puts it at maybe a slight angle like this, so that the bed doesn't hit it. And then comes back. But that's where we're at. All right, so I'm gonna have to talk to Aaron tomorrow and have him either sit in here and work on this printer here and do a design. I am gonna see if there's a Sidewinder X1 cover. Let's see, X1 SD cover. There we go, Sidewinder. Oh, that's not a plug, but that could be easily made into a plug. So if I share this here. So this could easily be made to just plug these up so you never use them once you can do the conversion. Let me see. There's a little dust cover. There we go. That would work. Just literally lop off the removal tab and just be a flat cover. That'd do. Alright, well, that's where we're going to have to go with this machine, is get rid of this damn touchscreen. Do they have another version of this where it's not cut out? Or I've only ever seen it with one type, where it's the big cutout. What's a version 4? Oh, version 4 comes with a reset button. Wow. So this must be version 1, because I do not have a reset button. Let's see here. I don't think anybody really has... He's probably not going to open it. Nope, no one opens their printers. Like, am I like one of the only people that actually like goes into the guts of these things? Like, I feel like no one else does any damn internal inspection. Like, do these people do it? Or are they just showing me externals? Why? Okay, so they added on a printed part here to make the lead screw nut float, because if the rods are bent, it'll translate into the wobble. Yep, no information. So, but I mean, like, this one would fit both. It would just sit on top. For V3 and lower, why wouldn't it fit on V4? This is just going to sit. Unless this is meant to sit. Well, it's not like a recess either. I don't know. I'll figure all this stuff out so you guys don't have to. Anyways, my music has ended now. And it is 10 minutes past midnight, so... And I'm clearly tired, so... I don't know how many people are watching. Probably not that many. These streams usually don't pull in that many viewers, which is fine. But I think I'm just gonna... It'll be quicker for me to work on this offline. So, once I get everything, like, done, then I will get this all taken care of for you guys. And we'll get it all squared away. So, let's see here. Apparently I got text messages from people. Bill, I saw, if you're still watching, Bill, I saw your text. I've just been busy. I'm sorry. So, anyways, guys, take it easy, and as always, happy printing. Bye-bye now.